NyanCave.
Hey, hello.
Hello.
Welcome, Ace Attorney.
Yeah. So a few things I want to knock out of the way really quickly. There was a surprise where
Surprise.
Deltarune Chapter 2 was announced to be released.
It was
on Friday, I believe. So in typical NyanCave fashion, what we're going to do is we're going to play Deltarune Chapter 1 on Friday instead of Berseria for a week because it's been a long time since we played that game and I want to get caught up. And then Saturday at 12:30, we're going to play Deltarune Chapter 2.
Hell yeah.
So I do hope to see you there. And if you want to play it yourself on Friday, then I do implore you to do so.
Woo.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, Deltarune Chapter 1 on Friday. We'll get caught up. We're going to actually play it a few hours before release. So if you want to get a refresher yourself, it's a good time to do so.
Yeah.
And then we'll see you on Saturday to play Deltarune Chapter 2. Very fun times.
Remember when we thought that Deltarune was going to be a 2-hour stream?
Oh, yeah.
6
It was
hours
so much
later.
fun, though.
So good.
I just remember being like so like just having a good time the whole time. It was just a lot of fun.
I think you need to adjust your focus as well on the camera a little bit because Clay's blurry.
I'm blurry.
Yeah, he looks like he's not. I'm not wearing my glasses.
You're not.
Ooh. There. Perfect.
Oh, well, this is relevant.
Not to distract from today's stream, but I screamed at the Deltarune Chapter 2 announcement yesterday. I started watching you guys from the Deltarune stream you did before, and I am hype as hell.
Hey, well,
Wild.
I'm sure maybe you heard.
You might have known.
Yeah, I'm very excited as well. Super duper cool. So that will be a good time, and I hope to see you there, TB. But that's about that. How dare you take us off our Deltarune conversation to talk about Deltarune? Right?
Cheers.
So cheers.
Thanks, TV.
to a-
Thanks,
to a fun weekend.
Deltarune.
Aha. Yeah, and we should be picking up Imposter Factory as well, near September 30th or so.
So
when it
many
launches.
good things happening.
And that'll be fun.
So many.
Yeah. Where were we? I think we had done. Oh yes, we were about to go to jail.
To jail.
To
of
jail.
course.
I'm going to jail.
It's all good, TB. No, I appreciate it.
This is the good time. Also, Haiti, I saw your messages. I saw. And you were right this time. Okay.
Hi.
Adam!
Can't stay along. But yeah, so Seki continuing to act so sussy. He just can't catch a break. Rest assured, I'll be back to see you tackle case 3.
Ooh.
For sure, Adam. I'm like, I don't blame him at all, but man, is it not working to his favor.
No.
You just got out of jail, just got off trial. Come on.
Just wanted to see his friend, you know?
Yeah.
His friend has to go and Juliet himself.
Ah.
Oh.
Look, Mr. Naruto. Mr. Natsume, the police have finished questioning you now? Locum student, Mr. Naruto Esquire!
Oh, yes.
What is he? Tell me! Is he a ghost? Is he here to haunt me?
Good question.
Let me guess. You're talking about Mr. Sholmes?
He actually calls himself a great detective, Mr. Natsume, not a ghost.
But his diabolical deductions, they're not of this world. They've left me. Cursed! I'm cursed, I tell you.
Well, that sort of hurts.
Credit to where credit is due, Mr. Naruto. You were heavily involved in the deduction, too.
Yes, moving on. We have wonderful news.
Oh?
The victim we all thought was dead has come back to life again.
Now, in the absolutely worst case, you could only be tried for attempted murder. That's great, isn't it, Mr. Natsume?
It's terrible!
Oh,
I'm stuck in the cell, suffering for some silly wrong end of the stick. You did it, didn't you? Confess! You're a killer! Why the mustache? Constant questions!
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, that selfish shyster! Make up your mind! Are you dead or alive? Make up your mind! If you were gonna come back to life, then why bother dying? Wickedly wishy-washy William!
Oh, that's good.
I'm sounding a bit peaky, probably because I'm yelling. We made adjustments to the audio to stop the buzzing that was there.
A little more compression. A little more subsession.
I'll give that a try.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that might make sense. And I'm pleased that he's alive, of course.
Sorry. Well, it seems likely that Mr. Shamspear was never actually dead in the first place. Good.
Our lively debate last night was much fun. I'd be sad to think it was our last. Oh! Oops.
Mr. Natsume, does this mean that you did see the victim last night? You met with Mr. Shamspear. Oh, you met with Mr. Shamspear, didn't you?
I'm not saying another word! I demand to have a lawyer present!
Who do you think I am? Please, Mr. Natsume, we need to hear your side of the story.
Why am I cursed like this?
Can't stay since it's almost 11 p.m. here, and also a little off topic, but I've been playing Tales of Arise, and it is truly amazing.
Ooh.
It's sold over 1 million copies as of today.
Hey,
Awesome
that's
news.
good. I'm really
Very
happy to
nice.
See the series do well. It's a good
Good
series.
job.
Yeah.
Good job, Tails.
Also very excited to play it someday. Yeah,
One
hopefully
day.
sooner than later. But thank you, D'Anthony. What happened? Can you tell us exactly what happened last night then, Mr. Natsume?
There's nothing to tell! But, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, I am eternally grateful for you helping me with that accursed case yesterday.
The case that saw poor Miss Green hospitalized after she ended up with a knife in her back.
Oh, hello.
It's hard to believe that was only yesterday. After the trial was over, I trudged my weary way back to my lowly lodgings, and that evening, at past 9 it must have been, I visited Mr. Shamspear.
So you did go to the victim's room then?
As we feared. I didn't do anything wrong! I'd never been to his room before! It was the first time!
Then what made you decide to go?
I bumped into him when I arrived back at the house, and we got to chatting, and it developed into a discussion.
And sorry, one second.
I have been
What's
watching
up?
the Leighton vs. Wright playthrough, and wanted to stop by to pay for the last 2 days of fantastic content.
Thank you.
Oh.
Enjoy the stream today.
Hey.
Thanks so much.
Iglonious.
Iglon.
Yes, and thank you.
Inglonious.
And notifications are delayed just to kind of try to pace the stream. I saw you worrying there in chat, so sorry about that.
Audio's still fucked. I'm not going to yell anymore.
What?
But he had to go out, so I bade him farewell.
Do you want to just really quickly flip the compressor back to 10 to 1 on the microphone?
Sure.
Let's see how that goes. That ties in with what Mr. Garadeb said, that the victim went out and came back after 8.
We met again later that evening, at around 9 or just after, and when I took him some nice tea that I'd brewed as a gift.
So it was you who brought the tea that had clearly been drunk at the scene then.
And I suppose you were discussing the works of Shakespeare, were you? Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. Romeo and Juliet! Who was the stronger? It was a delightful debate.
Did they
I'm
ever arm
sure.
wrestle in the story?
I recall that. Such a stimulating subject, Shakespeare!
And then the debate became very heated, so you slipped poison to Mr. Shamspear's tea.
No, never, not at all. How was that? Because I'm not gonna yell, and if you said it's loud, I'm just gonna deal with it.
You could also increase the limiter a little bit. I think it might have come down a bit.
Still quite peaky? Okay. The flamboyant fellow was fighting fit. I swear it, categorically.
Oh, they're saying it's better.
Still peaky, still peaky.
Could you just adjust the limiter and we'll leave it at that?
Okay, I really don't like doing this. This is such a pet peeve. What do you want?
Increase the limiter.
What does that mean? Do you want me to make the decibels more or less?
-8.
-8?
Kit doesn't know why Romeo and Juliet was so beloved. You know, I would have to read the original works and not just watch Leonardo DiCaprio in his role to know.
Mr. Natsume, you always say the same thing about yourself, I've noticed. That you have a cursed existence.
I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before, but I've been here in Great Britain for a year now, and in that time, I've learned it is no place for me. It can be very trying to live in a foreign land and adapt to the ways of another culture. There are foreigners everywhere I look, and they all stare at me. They all laugh. That's the impression I get whenever I go out. It makes me scared to leave my room. Which is why I've become a recluse. But even in my room, I find no respite for my fears. So I've moved more times than I can remember, and then 1 week ago, I moved into Briar Road.
But why? I mean, why did you choose that place? Doesn't seem very comfortable.
Because the rent is cheap, and I have so little money, it spoke to me. The rent? Obviously, there's a reason why the rent is cheap. It's because the room is cursed.
Cursed? Cursed how?
The previous occupant, the man who lived there before, I took the room, died there. Oh no! He was only a young man, but one morning he was found dead, and no one could explain why.
Surely no one would want to live in a room with a history like that.
I didn't. When the letting agent recommended the place, I wavered. But I want books, and books cost money. A horrible history is a small price to pay. When I realized it would mean that I could buy more books, I signed the lease like lightning.
Brave or blinkered?
But after I moved in, I soon came to realize what I'd done. I realized how horrible that room's history really was. Gosh, was it really so awful?
I mean, chat, would you move into a cursed house?
I don't know. People do it on YouTube all the time.
Oh, yeah.
For views.
For views.
So why not do it for books?
How did the room's horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsume? What happened? At first, it was just a feeling of beady eyes boring into my back, watching me.
Do you think that might have just been your mind playing tricks on you? And just to let you know, technically the previous owner of this house passed away. So.
Oh.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
and probably in the house to be real.
Yeah.
Probably right where I was sitting. Am sitting.
No. Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure the room is roommate's room.
No. Because in the old age, I know a little history about the world, okay? In the old age of the former tenant, they moved into this very basement suite. This
What,
part.
really?
Yeah, because the stairs were too much. So they built this, and then...
That's delightful.
Do you think that might have just been your mind playing tricks on you?
Oh no, it's this very room.
No. My mind doesn't know any tricks. It was something else. It's been one long nightmare ever since I was given the keys to this place.
A nightmare? You've been having bad dreams, you mean?
All the souls who died in that room lean over me in my sleep and try to strangle me.
Well, it's a good thing that ghosts are incorporeal then. Incorporeal?
Incorporeal. Yeah.
That really is horrible.
And now come to think of it, it happened again last night too. The very same night that Mr. Shamspear was writhing in agony from the poison in his body. I was on the verge of being suffocated silently by those miserable spirits in my room.
I see what's going on.
You simply must move out of that room as soon as possible. Yes, you're right, I know it. And that is why I'm already searching for the next room with a history to call home. I think perhaps you should have tried to avoid accommodation with any kind of history at all. Otherwise, I'm scared that you yourself may become history.
Susato-san knows how to make the man listen.
You thinking gas leak?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all...
it's the gas leak season.
Yeah, like, I don't know how on the nose this is, but,
Right.
like, the gas line is already weak, right?
Right,
They
yeah.
were both being asphyxiated.
Yeah.
The window has a hole in it with
Yeah.
soap, which is probably to, like, you know, air the place out and make it smell better.
Well,
or
didn't they
something.
say it was like busted out from inside?
I don't know.
I think that they said it was.
Either which way, but... because yeah, I don't know if gas would actually smell like anything back then, because gas stinks now, but they do that on purpose
Yeah.
so that you can smell it. Otherwise, it could just silently kill you.
Yeah.
So they make it stink.
I remember before they made farts smelly.
Yeah.
Of course, the Lord of the Manor was worried about the curse on my room as well.
You mean Mr. Garadep?
Yes, he knows that if people keep dying in there, he'll never be able to rent it out again.
Well, that's true. I, for one, wouldn't go near the place.
Oh, perhaps. That may explain why the landlord pays so much attention to the gas lamps in his tenants' movements.
You mean because he's worried about their well-being? He does seem to have an unusually keen interest in the amount of gas in the pipes. Must be a reason why he keeps such close tabs on the occupants on his let rooms.
What do you mean? He pays so much attention to the gas lamps. Oh, dear, no, it's nothing to do with you, Mr. Natsume. Please, forget I said anything. Oh, now you're talking about me behind my back as well.
What's important is that Mr. Shamspear isn't in fact dead at all. Once he's come around and he's able to tell us what happened, we'll be able to get you released.
Yes, please. Oh, I do hope you're right.
Probably the inspector?
Excuse me.
Ooh, called.
Oh, Inspector Gregson!
I couldn't help it over here what you said. And on that note, I have some good news and some bad news.
Oh.
Which do you want to hear first?
Always, every time, the bad news comes first. When hope
me
is
the
all
bad
you
news.
have, hold on to it. That is my guiding principle.
Right, well, in that case, the good news is...
Rude.
Sorry, but it's a lot easier to explain everything that way.
And why did you ask me my preference?
Oh, as you might have heard, the victim Shamspear was unconscious. You come around now.
Yes, we saw it happen, all in its terrifying glory.
He's still being treated by the doctor, but we've managed to get a written statement from him already.
Oh, isn't that wonderful, Mr. Natsume? Oh, thank goodness. It's all over then. I can leave his somber cell.
Please don't say that.
Sorry. No, that's not on the cards.
What? Why ever not, Inspector?
Mr. Shamspear has implicated someone as being responsible for what happened last night.
Implicated someone?
Oh dear. You don't mean...
Sorry to say I do. Yes, he pointed the finger at you, Mr. Natsume. Bah, sweet poison. Did he seeketh to end my life? That wickedest caitiff, Soseki Natsume.
No.
So, I'm afraid you'll be appearing in a court as planned. You'll be wanting to make the necessary preparations.
Oh!
And so, once again, Soseki-san found himself having to take the dock in the Old Bailey. Whether his room was haunted or whether he was just terribly unlucky, I knew I had no choice. The following day, I would represent him in court and do my utmost to break the curse that blighted him. Blighted.
Soseki doesn't deserve this. TBC.
So close.
YouTube is
Joni!
gotten errors in streams like 3 days in a row now. I've heard that other people have problems too. YouTube, fix your stuff.
Yeah.
Get it together,
I don't
YouTube.
know about that.
That's weird. That's
Yeah.
very weird.
I'm playing on my phone right now and it seems okay, but yeah, sorry. Might need a refresh or a reinstall.
Anonymous got errors as well.
Weird.
That's so weird.
Oh my goodness, we're here.
Yeah.
Back in the courtroom.
The Old Bailey. This place always makes me feel strange. I seem to get chills down my spine and break out into a nervous sweat all the same time. Well, I didn't think I'd be here so soon.
That's my line! Good morning!
Ah, good morning, Mr. Natsume.
It was only 2 days ago that I was declared not guilty here.
Yes, we somehow managed to prove that he didn't stab Miss Green in the back.
But now this! Another morning, another murder, and here I am again in this hellhole! Can't keep coming to court!
I'm beginning to think he's right. It really does seem as though he's cursed.
Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid I have bad news. Oh! Mr. Natsume, good morning.
Bad news? No,
I have fad news. There is
rad news even.
Rad.
Yes, morning.
So, here we are again.
Yes, again.
Judicial Assistant Miss Mikotoba Esquires, what's the bad news? Oh dear, you heard, did you?
If you come in shouting at the top of your voice,
People can't help hearing what you say! Oh, I am sorry.
You've done nothing wrong, Mrs. Sato. Now, what is it?
Well, it seems that the prosecution in today's trial will be led by Lord Baron von Zieks.
I swear, he is the only prosecutor on this island. Von Zieks?
Oh no! Oh no! 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 No!
Oh.
The so-called Reaper of the Bailey, the most legendary prosecutor in the land. In the trial 2 days ago, he pursued Soseki-san and I relentlessly. Of course, by the skin of our teeth. We managed to pull through, but still.
Perhaps Mr. Natsume's acquittal in the last trial wasn't the end of the matter after all.
Yes, I know what you're thinking. The legend of the Reaper that says, nothing can save a person in the dock when Lord Von Zieks is the prosecutor.
oh no.
But even if that person is found not guilty, the accused will meet a mysterious end one way or another.
And we've experienced it firsthand. A man we successfully defended met the most terrifying end after his acquittal, right here in the Old Bailey.
Oh, do I have to put up with those ice-cold eyes boring into my soul again?
Yes.
Cursed by evil spirits and now by the Reaper! Pair of petrifying perils, potentially! Well, if it's potentially, at least you appear to have hope, Mr. Natsume. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Yes?
I'm innocent! You have to believe me! You more than anyone know!
Don't worry. I'll be your steadfast ally every step of the way in this battle. I promise. And this promises to be a hard battle, I fear.
Well, the trial is scheduled to begin shortly. We should move into the courtroom.
Let's go.
Oh yes, I forgot to say. I'm afraid he won't be able to make it. Mr. Sholmes, I mean.
That's probably for the best.
Oh!
If he were here, I might be tempted to rely on his help, and that could be seen as a weakness. If Lord Von Zeeks were to notice, he'd prey on it mercilessly. And it would also ruin the reveal at the end of the first game. But, I mean, at least that's my gut feeling, you know?
Mr. Naruhodo. You're right. Yes, you're so right. Oh, well said, locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Well said.
I swear on this sword at my side, and the spirit of Kazuma that it harbors. I'll show him what a Japanese lawyer can do. I'll set you free, with honor.
Oh, yes! To be a man, you must have honor, and a sword.
I'm at work, so I can't watch this stream with you guys. Hopefully I can catch the next stream when I'm off. Have fun, y'all. P.S. Juror number 4 is my waifu, winking face.
Ooh.
Okay. Juror number 4.
Please, thank you.
Hello.
Oh my.
Oh, wow.
Man, Bear plays like a professional juror, I swear.
Yeah, right?
Oh.
That would be so weird if the world was such that we hire, like, professional jurors existed.
I know. That wouldn't be
Like judges? Like secondary judges?
Yeah, but they in some places they elect judges even, which is its own problems.
What if the jurors were the children of the judges? And they had like a reality TV show.
Oh man.
And it was like All in the Family.
Yeah.
And they could call it the Jewels of Justice.
I'd watch the hell out of that.
The Family Jewels of Justice.
Oh my god.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and the defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to be this man?
Oh, I liked your voice.
If you don't, I mean, I can continue.
Well...
I would be doing a lot of talking because I would be Susato and Zeeks.
The prosecution is ready.
That's very good.
Ooh. And later, maybe ours? Who knows? And Sholmes? The defense is ready, my lord.
Readiness for the trial. My lord.
No, not. Somebody said Batman, and I was like, oh, yeah, Batman.
Readiness for the trial, my lord Nipponese friend, is not what the defense needs.
But what if Professor Snape was a vampire?
Not what they need.
Potter?
Potter?
I want to suck your blood.
Where is your mother? I want to turn her into vampire.
It solves so many problems.
She'll be with me forever in the afterlife.
What you need is readiness for your inevitable defeat.
It's not just my imagination. It's really there. Lord Von Zeeks is such has such an animosity towards us Japanese for some reason.
It was some time ago now that he first became known as the Reaper of the Bailey, I believe. These past few years, he hasn't appeared in court at all.
And yet, now he's back in the courtroom. Though for some reason, only when I'm defending. This Reaper, with his curious disdain for us Japanese, is a prosecutor shrouded in mystery. Still, this isn't the time to be pondering that. I have to concentrate on Soseki-san's trial. Actually, now that I think about it, Von Zeeks is only around when I'm around, and I complimented his hairstyle, and now he wears it like that all the time. And I told him that his perfume smelled really good, and it got stronger all of a sudden. You don't think? Nah, he hates me. He hates me for sure. Yeah.
Just looking at him.
Hi. So, I showed you my boot. Please reply.
Furthermore, I will call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury to have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to fulfill your duty?
Oh, right. It would be nice if I could see all of them. And we
Right, can we zoom out?
No. We had the zoom out in the beginning.
There's Fair Play, Grandpa, and the Worker Man. Those are the 3 male characters. There's and then there's a new lady.
Oh,
that lady, and I don't know one that I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, you do have Shamspear, so
I do have Shamspear. I do have.
you were this guy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Absolutely. I had a feeling this larrikin wasn't innocent before.
I must say that I feel especially ruthless on days when my hat refuses to sit right. Oh, it's this friend.
Hey, boy.
Go, Gadget Tom.
Oh, well, I rather like how you're wearing your hat. I think its ruthless look is very fetching, actually.
Oh my god.
I need to be somewhere at 10 o'clock. I have a very important meeting. Let's make this quick.
What does this guy sound like?
Rough.
Or do you want this guy? I was gonna take the old man.
You can take old man.
Why not both?
Why not both?
He's a big, gruff man. I feel like he blackhammers blacksmiths.
I think he's construction.
Yes, he's road work. Road work ahead. I certainly hope so.
Couldn't agree more. I need to take out 5 bob tonight, or the missus will go through the roof.
Yeah, close enough.
Oh, may the Lord show us all the light here and lead his flock to a righteous verdict.
Those were high-pitched boops for this man.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. The British jury system is so very different from our own, isn't it? It's quite extraordinary to think that the power of judgment is in the hands of 6 members of the public, and that the judges can only pass sentence when all jurors are in agreement about the defendant's guilt.
6 citizens of London, chosen at random. Or at least that's the idea.
The prosecution would draw attention to the fact that the accused was on trial here but 2 days ago.
That's not relevant to this case.
Or isn't? Accordingly, where possible, the same jurors have been asked to return for duty today.
That seems a little messed up.
Let's bring all the preconceived notions from previous trial to bear.
It's so weird that they would, I get it, but it doesn't, whatever.
the artist was like, I can't draw more, please.
And I'm over it.
Very well, let us commence the trial. Lord Von Zeeks, your opening statement, please.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is not the intent of the prosecution to cast doubt over your past decision. However, the innocent verdict afforded to this erratic Nipponese before has had dire consequences. Eccentric. Did the accused repent for his wrongdoing in that affair? Far from it. Instead, he used his freedom to perpetrate a most blood-curdling crime. Namely, that of attempted murder for his neighboring lodger, an innocent Englishman. To explain the circumstances of the crime, the prosecution calls its first witness to the stand. Oh. The detective responsible for investigating the scene, and the accused himself.
Oh boy.
Alright. Witnesses, your name and occupations, please. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard's Homicide Division.
Soseki Natsume from the Empire of Japan. My government ordered me to come here as a student to study your language and culture.
Mr. Natsume,
Yes, my lord, sir.
I'm quite sure that I'm not mistaken. That you swore an oath never to set foot in my courtroom again.
I did that once and it was so embarrassing.
I remember it as if it were yesterday.
The day before, in fact, my lord, but close enough.
I was about to tell a funny joke that you so rudely interrupted. Prosecution.
Believe me, this is the last place I want to be.
Inspector, let's hear from you first. Explain the case to the court. Right, you are, sir.
Woo!
Guess I'm staying after all.
Hey!
Goddamn, Tom's Van Zeek's voice is sexy. It's been a while since he played a prosecutor who wasn't a pain in our side.
Hey, Adam!
Adam. I heard it's been a while since he played a prostitute. I mean,
We also had two people redeem their membership thingy.
Hey!
Oh, Puffin, thanks for 30 months. Thomas Van Zeeks, my life is now complete. Really, though, I can't say how happy I am to see Tom again in another AA game, since they're how I found the channel.
Aw,
thanks,
you.
Puffin.
And where's Xavier? It's the myth, the legend, Tom.
Hey. Thank
Good to
for
see you.
Remembering.
And that was 31 months, where's Xavier?
What?
We are Xavier, sorry. We are
Coming
Xavier.
up on the big 3-6.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, if a child was born on the day that you remembered, they're almost having their 3rd birthday.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But not their 4th.
No.
The incident occurred at the Garadeb household where the defendant was lodging. In the ground floor room of the victim, Mr. William Shamspeare. The defendant was already admitted to the visiting the victim on the night in question. Mr. Shamspeare collapsed in his room as a result of poisoning by strychnine. He was found in the following morning when the landlord, suspecting something was wrong, broke down the door.
And we'll also know that Garadeb didn't waste any time kicking the door in. That was a little sus.
So sus.
Yeah.
So sus. 30 minutes late, kick in the door. The Reaper just looking to bury another body.
Strike 9 is the pronunciation? Interesting.
Huh.
I wouldn't have gone.
Strike 9?
I would have been like strychnine.
Yeah.
Strychnine.
Like glycerin?
Yeah, right.
Glycerine?
This means, I presume, that the door to the victim's room was locked at the time of the incident.
Correct, my lord. It was locked from the inside, making entry to or exit from the room impossible.
Although the victim, Mr. Shamspeare, lives to tell the tale. He very well didn't. The man was halfway to heaven when we first found him. I was the first officer on the scene, my lord. And I have a photographic print here I took at the time to show how it looked.
Strychnine? Strychnine makes more sense to me.
Strychnine.
Yes, a chilling scene indeed. The man looks very much deceased.
That's right. Everyone present believed that exactly what he was.
Very well, I shall accept this photographic print as evidence for the court. Now then, Mr. Natsume.
Yes!
As the defendant, do you have anything to say at this juncture?
They're haunted. Haunted by evil spirits.
Oh, yes, understandable. You're free to go have a nice day.
Thank you.
Good gracious! What's haunted?
My lodgings! There's been a whole series of strange happenings in my lodgings! The tenant before me died in mysterious circumstances. A woman was stabbed by no one on the street outside. My neighbor was poisoned. And me? What about me? I've nearly been killed countless times.
Killed, Mr. Natsume?
By you.
Even on that fateful night, it happened. When I returned from Mr. Shamspear's room, I lit my gas stove and climbed into bed, but before long, the stove went out, and somebody tried to kill me!
You must always extinguish all fires before retiring for the night, Mr. Natsume.
It's true.
But it's so cold! My nose, my runny nose would freeze. The point is, I didn't poison my neighbor. Oh, why am I being accused of this? Why is my existence so cursed?
Thank you, witnesses. I believe I have a reasonably clear picture of the events.
If I could raise one more point, my lord. One more conclusive point.
It's always conclusive with prosecutors.
Because I always finish.
Conclusive. Go on.
Fortunately, the victim, Mr. Shamspear, has regained consciousness after his ordeal. And he has named the true culprit. The poison consumed by the victim was administered in a cup of tea that he drank on the night in question. Tea, my lord, that was brought to the victim's room by the accused.
The accused? Oh, good grief! Order! Order!
Honestly, I figured this whole case out.
Okay.
Okay.
It was really an argument about Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh my God, you know, Juliet wouldn't even come back. It's just, it's impossible.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'll show you. And boom.
Oh my goodness.
Amnesia.
Amnesia. He got the amnesia.
It's the Romeo and Juliet roleplay gone wrong.
Yeah. Okay, Sinvector.
Yes, that's the crux of this whole case. If Soseki-san is innocent, then why? Why has the victim accused him?
Well, Mr. Natsume, what do you have to say to this accusation?
That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shamspear's room, as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I bought bottled water especially to make it. And this is the result! Never will I touch tea again! Never!
The public pump was frozen, you say?
That's not information we've heard before.
That'll do. Thank you. Now, according to our laws, the defense must have the opportunity to cross-examine witnesses at least once. Therefore, I call upon these witnesses now for a formal testimony. I presume the prosecution has no objection.
None whatsoever, my lord.
Good. Then you will give your account of the events on the night in question to the court now.
Yeah. Yes, my lord! That's funny, I'll pop
Out
in.
of curiosity, what Brian thinks. Strychnine.
Strychnine.
Go with that.
Yo, nice
Cyber.
play, Cyber.
I've been watching you guys since Danganronpa, and I love that Tom could make it back to do another Ace Attorney game. Love all three of you guys.
Oh, thanks,
you.
Aurora.
Thank you, Aurora! And chat says it's both. Americans say strychnine because they say aluminum. And British people say aluminium and strychnine. Strychnine. It was around 9 o'clock in the evening when I visited my neighbor, and I took some tea with me as a gift. We had a heated literary debate over a nice hot drink, after which I went back to my room at around 11. Oh, my tea was completely harmless. He couldn't have locked the door behind me otherwise, could he?
Strychnine takes some time to take effect on the body. People don't need keel over immediately after taking it. The victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. The argument still stands. Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad.
Yes, I see. It all seems relatively straightforward.
Excuse me, but that testimony does raise one rather crucial point, I think. Mr. Natsume claims his tea to have been harmless. Presumably, though, the teacups have been examined for traces of poison, haven't they?
Poison.
Susato, we kind of took them. Why didn't I think of that?
Well, as it happens, no. We haven't been able to.
Did I hear you correctly, Inspector? Scotland Yard has failed to examine the suspect's substance.
How could you have overlooked something so important? Isn't that the first thing you should have done?
My learned Nipponese friend is falsely incensed. The inspector said Scotland Yard was unable to examine the tea, not that it was overlooked.
Unable? Why?
It's simple enough. There was none left, not a drop.
Just like in the story.
Someone must have been there, been very thirsty indeed.
Wow.
With current scientific techniques, it's not possible to test for poison under such circumstances.
Oh my god, he's from the future for sure.
We only need a drop, but that one drop does actually have to exist, funnily enough.
The lack of examination notwithstanding, it appears nothing other than the tea passed the victim's lips on the night in question.
I see. Thank you. The matter is clear.
Cast your eyes over the jury, my learned friend.
What?
You can see in their face, I'm sure, the recognition of the accused's guilt. Your client's face is all but sealed. Fate.
I've still got an amazing card in my hand.
In mere moments from now, you will lose, and your compatriot will be damned for all eternity.
He's right. I can feel all 6 of the jurors looking daggers at me. But little do they know, there are no pathetic defendants in my dock. I play summation examination.
Wow!
But I can't let them beat me now. Or down, I won't. I won't.
Counsel for the defense, proceed with your cross-examination.
Yes, my lord.
Cross-examination. Cross-examination station.
I was around 9 o'clock that evening when I visited my neighbor and I took some tea with me as a gift.
Hold it! Hold it.
But why?
Were you and your neighbor good friends then?
No! We weren't even friends! Not at all! Not at all! Never, ever!
A simple no would have sufficed. Then, why did you decide to pay him a visit?
Mr. Shamspeare fancies himself as having great literary knowledge. As a fellow scholar of English literature, we find much to talk about together.
Come now. No Nipponese could understand the finer points of English literature.
I remember Von Deeks being a lot chiller in the first game.
We just ignore him. Nice. What else are you gonna do?
Nah.
Maybe this trial's happening before the last trial, so maybe this chilled him out.
No, maybe. And on the night in question, that was the topic of the conversation as well, I presume.
It was the day of my last trial, when I was acquitted. I just arrived back to my lodgings, when I ran into Mr. Shamspeare outside on the street. That was around 6 o'clock. We exchanged 1 or 2 pleasantries, but soon it turned into a heated discussion. He was on his way out at the time, though. So I promised to visit him in his room that evening at 9 to continue our debate. But did I have ill intentions? No! Not 1, not 2, not any! Not at all!
Never, ever! A simple no would have sufficed, I feel.
Then tell the court, what did happen when you visited the victim's room?
You think Soseki secretly ripped under that suit? Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why they call him a
100%.
hunchback. It's not hunches. It's muscles. He's just shredded.
It's from curling books all day.
Curling books.
Could you do a quick poll in chat?
Yeah.
I want to know who would win in a fight.
Right.
Okay.
Romeo or Hamlet?
Who would win in a fight?
Oh, good. Yeah. Send the poll. I'm not going to taint it. until
Romeo.
we've seen-
I think I know the answer.
Hamlet.
Well, I mean, one of them is a
A soldier, right?
small child,
Yeah.
and the other is a trained prince.
Perfect.
Literal 15-year-old boy versus full-grown adult. Trained in the art of stabbery.
Hold it!
A literary debate about Shakespeare's works, I think you said, didn't you?
Shakespeare. A very worthy topic of conversation, I must say.
Oh, yes, my lord. Romeo and Juliet. Who was stronger? It was profoundly pleasurable parley.
Okay, Hamlet wins. Take it down and put this one up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who wins, Juliet or Hamlet? Both H names. Nice. Wow.
Romeo and Juliet.
Who was stronger?
I know I'm going to regret asking this, but how did the debate go?
Well, we both agreed that we would reach a conclusion more quickly with the reenactment.
Oh my god, I called it. I
You
called it.
actually did, though.
I know.
Like, literally?
Literally?
So we battled it out in a Greco-Roman style, naturally, which is naked.
Naked. They got naked and wrestled it out, you know?
What?
We said under that suit, he's ripped, shredded,
Boiled
jacked, juiced up.
Mr. Shamspeare had all sorts of costumes in his room for such a contest.
That's why they're there. No other reason. Don't ask. It's for contests.
They happen to be invisible as well, but don't worry about that. So, when you say a reenactment, you mean you were actually in costume?
He has Romeo and I as Juliet, and after a vigorous, wild tussle, I as Juliet came out on top. A victory I shall cherish forever!
So
Chat said Juliet tops, yeah?
Yeah. Official.
I dare not imagine the terrible scene of carnage.
The fact remains that it was you who prepared the tea and took it to the victim. Correct?
I should have joined the drama club.
I boiled the water in my room and made a pot to take with me. I heard that he was too poor to have tea himself, you see.
That's true. There was no sign of any tea leaves in the man's room.
I wanted to do something nice, to be friendly. So why is everyone looking at me with such suspicion? My tea was harmless! Of course it was!
And do you have any basis for that statement, witness?
Oh, my tea was completely harmless! He couldn't have locked the door behind me otherwise!
Yes, there was not a drop of tea left in the victim's room anywhere, was there?
That's correct. Anyone would think the fella had never had a pot of tea before. He must have licked it dry. Which is a pity, because one drop is all we would have needed to analyze it for poison.
And you say that you returned home to your room at 11 o'clock, Mr. Natsume?
Yes, definitely! By heaven and earth, I swear it!
The landlord was able to verify that, as it happens. He confirmed that the defendant went back to his room at 11 that night.
And how is the landlord able to attest to this?
He's spying on me!
Yeah. Said it was the lamps, I believe.
The lamps, Inspector.
They talked to him.
When tenants return to their rooms and start using gas, the lamps in other parts of the house flicker.
Yes, Mr. Garrett seems to pay a lot of attention to the coming and going of his tenants. There's only one key to Mr. Shamspear's room. I know that for certain. So he must have locked the door himself from the inside.
The victim had confirmed that to be the case, yes.
So I'm right. The tree was harmless. Completely harmless, sis. If you take poison, you die. Everyone knows that.
Right. It's not that simple, I'm afraid.
Yeah, like in the first case, the reporter took the poison, but someone else died.
What do you mean?
This strychnine takes some time to take effect on the body. People don't keel over immediately after taking it.
How long does it take for symptoms to appear then?
According to the coroner I was speaking to at the yard, about 30 minutes after the poison is consumed. Then the victim suffers violent convulsions, cramping, stiffness, and eventually dies from asphyxiation.
So there's a 30-minute interval between when the poison is ingested and the onset of symptoms. There seems to be a lot of different types of poison in the world, that's for sure. Yeah, if someone's dad wouldn't stop researching them.
Stop making new poisons. Quit it.
Oh dear. Death by poisoning again. It's always so awful.
30 minutes is a long time. Certainly long enough for the victim to have locked the door behind the accused after he left.
You can't deny that. And it further degrades Soseki-san's alibi.
I have the medical report from the doctor who examined the victim here, my lord. It spells it out, really. The accused is the only person who could have done it.
Very well, the court will add this report to the court record as evidence.
It obviously mentions the poison as well as other details gleaned during the police investigation.
Oh yes, I see it here. Delayed onset of symptoms.
Great.
The victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. The argument still stands.
Hold it!
All right.
The argument still stands, you say?
Figure of speech. This is what Mr. Natsume had been saying, ain't it? The pair of them drank tea together that night, so if there were poison in it, the victim wouldn't have been able to lock the door after the accused left later on.
Exactly! Oh, me and my tea are innocent! Sweet and innocent, I tell you!
I'm afraid, sir, that doesn't follow. You see, strychnine is a slow-acting poison. In other words, it takes time for symptoms to appear. So, you could have left the room up to 30 minutes after the victim drank the tea. And as long as you did that, Mr. Shamspear could have locked the door after you'd gone.
But no! We drank the tea straight away! The battle over whether Romeo or Juliet was stronger! It's Juliet, by the way, chat says. That came after the tea!
Do you have any evidence to support that?
I have a bite mark in a weird place if you want to see it. In my great homeland, the Empire of Japan, we have a saying. Drink tea while it is hot.
That's going to be relevant.
Yes. Yeah. Oh no. Relevant at guiltifying our own defendant?
Maybe.
Because he chugged his, but the other one has the line.
Yeah.
Showing slow.
So you can identify which one's which.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Just nice. Sure. The proverb will satisfy the prosecution.
I'm afraid there's no conclusive proof to support the defendant's assertion. On the contrary, there are sufficient grounds to infer this guilt on the matter.
No.
Okay, new poll. Who's stronger?
Right.
Juliet or Nyan?
I thought you were going to go with Ophelia.
Oh, Ophelia.
My other favorite Shakespearean female. Because nobody out crazy's Ophelia.
Ophelia, Ophelia like slapping you right now. There it is. That's the extent of their testimony, is it?
If I could voice a personal opinion, Mr. Naruhodo.
Of course, go ahead.
Mr. Natsume is arguing for his innocence so adamantly and so persistently.
Yet Inspector Gregson just brushes off what he says, brushes what he says aside. It's really quite infuriating.
I agree. So we need to find an inconsistency that in what the inspector's saying, I think.
I'm afraid so. As things stand, the jurors are sure to find Mr. Natsume guilty.
As I see it, what we need to focus on is the poison in the tea. Let's listen carefully to this testimony again.
Yes.
What do we got for evidence?
We got teacups.
Yeah.
We got
Cup.
medical records.
Okay.
We got armband.
Mm-hmm.
I thought...
Lock the door. Heal over immediately.
Yeah, no.
I think it's probably got to be the chuggy.
We got soap as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you think it's the
Soap.
drink the tea while it's hot in the cups?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he said that if we had a drop, we could like analyze it. So I thought that
Right.
might have been there.
Right.
And we've examined that. We've done that. We have.
So we got the picture. Can we go back to the picture?
Oh yeah, we haven't looked at that
which,
yet.
Oh, I can't see which one.
He was holding.
He
the
was
other
holding
cup,
his,
and,
yeah.
and that had the ring in it. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
okay.
There's a big stain on the ground over there, though. That's his pee corner.
Yes, so-
There is no bathroom in here.
Or it's the gas leak? I don't know. Maybe. Victim's report. Cause of coma, ingestion of small quantity of strychnine. Toxic effects present 30 minutes after ingestion. High likelihood of the substance having been mixed with the tea the victim was drinking, but no sample could be obtained for testing. The poisoning incident occurred around 1:30 a.m. Oh, wow. They were late.
Wait, what?
On,
But he went back to his room at 11.
Right?
oh my god, wouldn't it be so funny if Mr. Garadeb had like control of the gas, and so because he was like, oh, they were up past 1:30, believe me, I know, keeping him up at night, so he's like, time to go to sleep now, and just like closes his gas to increase the gas in there, which then just puts them to sleep.
Oh my! Don't.
Diabolical.
You can't say these theories,
I know.
okay? they're too hot.
It is time for you to go to sleep.
Realistically, parents should implement that for their children, because
my God.
god damn, kids are annoying.
Just
Boop.
Oh my, yeah.
No.
No, mother.
See you in the morning, sweetie.
Billy, does this smell like chloroform to you? That won't have lasting repercussions at all.
No, certainly not.
No.
Oh my god.
And Anonymous had a funny thing. Welcome to my crib. So this is my pee corner. It's where I pee.
Whoever opened this envelope didn't bother with a letter opener or scissors, did they?
Yes, whoever opened it was clearly someone with an unrefined temperament. And judging from the angle of the rip here, the person in question must have been right-handed.
Miss Sasato. I think perhaps someone's been reading too much of the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes.
You can never read too much of it, Mr. Naruhodo. Never!
Runs away.
With all her books.
Okay. Sorry, yeah.
No, as 11 o'clock, wherever it says that is all I was going to go to. Is it the last one that they say? When does he say that?
Because I'm pretty sure Natsume said that he left around 11.
Yeah,
Yes.
but it didn't get added to this testimony?
No. Hold on. I just want to see where this was. How long did it take? 30-minute gap between when the poison is digesting the onset of symptoms. A lot of different types of poison.
Oh dear, death by poison, awful.
30 minutes, long time. Long enough. All right, suppose it really... Okay.
It'd be funny. That's where we got the medical reports. Just throw it back at them.
Hold it!
Exactly, arg, me and my tea, innocent, sweet, ripped.
Yeah. Oh, slow acting. Oh, slow acting.
But no, we drank
that's
it.
right.
Whether
away.
Romeo or Juliet were stronger.
End of evidence.
Bite mark, homeland, drink tea while it's hot.
Okay.
No.
Damn. First ones are always the hardest for me.
Yeah, well, because you have so much evidence. There's
You
so much
gotta get the ball rolling, yeah.
Yeah.
Van Zeeks
No
says
way.
something damning. Naruhodo, hits back against wall. Jajato, do the thing. Naruhodo, does thing.
No! Spoilers!
Thanks, no.
Oh,
Hey,
Cyber!
Ramsix, would you like to have a debate?
Okay. Thank you, Simon.
White smoke time
Angry.
kiddies. PSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSS
And it didn't show up in Streamlabs, but Gregory, thank you for being a golden waffle.
Hey,
Gregory.
So, yeah, 1:30. It's just I don't know where to send it because it says around 9 o'clock the evening. I visited. I took some tea with me as a gift, and they drank it straight away. And I went back to my room at around 11. Yeah.
So yeah, okay. Went back to my room at 11.
I know. I just don't. Yeah. Do I send it
I think
here?
it's 808.
Yeah.
808-3.
Yeah. Okay.
Sports.
Sports.
Oops.
Sports.
Objection.
Mr. Natsume, you said it was 11 p.m. when you left to return to your room, correct?
Yes.
Hey, Angry, coming up in 4 years.
4 years.
47 months.
Imagine.
Wow.
That's a child being born, learning to
And
walk.
their 4th birthday's next month.
Next month.
Yeah.
I remember memories from being 4.
I don't.
Me neither.
Only from 5.
Yep.
I just remember 5.
First day of school, so traumatic. Every time.
I held onto the flagpole and wouldn't let go, and they had to get my mom to come get me.
Aw. I don't know what happened on my first day. I gotta ask my mom. My mom would remember.
And Inspector Gregson, can we rely on the information in the medical report unconditionally?
Of course we can. There's no problem with that report, sunshine.
Actually, I think there's a very big problem.
All that was missing was
Actually.
Because there's a chronological inconsistency between it and the defendant's testimony.
A chrono, what? What are you talking about?
According to this report, the victim must have consumed the poison at around 1:30 in the morning. And yet, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, left the victim's room at 11. Yes, that's right. There's more than 2 hours of missing time there. In other words, if there was poison in the tea that Mr. Natsume brought to the victim's room, how could the victim have fallen ill to it 2.5 full hours after the defendant left?
The defense's argument is entirely reasonable. How do you respond, Lord Von Zeeks?
Stunningly. Pray forgive the discourtesy if my mind has wandered. I was considering what cuisine would best complement the contents of my hallowed chalice in this luncheon.
I hope you're ready for an unforgettable luncheon.
How could it have happened, you ask?
Oh.
I do hate to shatter illusions, but my Nipponese friend appears to be chasing a phantom idea.
A phantom?
Is it so hard to imagine that the victim drank his tea after the accused had left?
Yes.
For example, at the time stated in the medical report? Yes, at around 1:30.
Okay, well, I mean, the victim's alive. We should just ask him.
Yeah, when did you drink that tea?
No.
But Mr. Natsume brought the tea with him to drink together with his neighbor. And in Japan, there's a well-known saying, drink tea while it's hot.
Objection!
And in my country, there's an even more well-apt saying. There is nothing more refreshing than cold tea.
Depends on the tea, for sure.
Like revenge. Served cold.
The point is, if there was such a long gap, there may have been other ways to explain how the victim came to be poisoned. Other possibilities.
And what sort of possibilities, Counsel?
I don't know, I'm not a poisonologist. Jeez, I'm a lawyer.
What do you think I am?
Well, for example, the man could have had another visitor.
Another visitor. That's a very bold assertion, my learned friend, from someone who has nothing to substantiate it.
Or the victim could have taken the poison of his own volition.
You suggest this may have been a suicide, Counsel. Objection!
Mr. Shamspear has categorically denied suicide. The idea can and must be discounted.
I love the flaccid slap.
Yeah. But he could be lying.
Something wrong, Lord Von Zeeks.
I was listening to the sound of the carriage pulling up outside the courtroom.
Oh boy.
Pray, forgive the discourtesy.
Carriage? What carriage?
It would seem that the key player in this case has just arrived.
Hold it.
No!
I'm not there.
Oh. Out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow.
Key player. I think he means star actor.
A poor player that struts and frets in this hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
And, who's, you?
William Shamspear, my lord. Alas, 'twas I undone by these bitter events that... I am the victim.
What? What is he doing here?
I mean,
He's kind of the accuser.
Wow, for a poor man, he's got a pretty stick.
The prosecution seeks to call this gentleman to the stand. With his testimony, my learned friend's futile resistance will be utterly crushed.
You're calling him as a witness?
Very well, Counsel, I grant your request with interest. I'm curious to discover what the court shall hear from the victim himself.
Happy I am, Shamspear, to regale thee with my tale of woe, my lord. But I still have my own tale to tell, my own tale of worse woe. I can regale the court with the tale of my perfect innocence in perfect English.
That will do, Mr. Natsume. Let the court now hear from the victim.
Amazing. Oh, Nyan, you're about to face off.
It's
All right. So that's Mr. Shamspear, and...
I just realized it's the last stream I can catch till Mon Fuse, which means it's the last one in my 20s. Thank you for being part of them.
Happy early birthday!
Happy early birthday!
Oh, thank you so much. Nyan. It's a shame that you're gonna miss Deltarune because I think it's gonna be a really good time.
Oh, it's going to be a fun time, but you're going to be doing birthday things on your birthday.
things. Yeah, so
We love that for you.
we'll miss you, but yeah, I hope you have a really good time.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, baby.
Me.
No, thank you, and yeah, hit it, chat. Thank you.
He's a victim.
It's very sweet. But who's that other man beside him?
Yes, I feel sure that we've caught a glimpse of that man before.
Oh, Catherine's going to a mini golf that's Pixar themed? That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool.
I haven't
Wally's
mini
my
golfed in
favorite.
quite a while.
Castle Fun Park?
Castle Fun Park!
The greatest, stupidest named place in the world.
I love it.
It's got 3 different mini golf courses,
Yes.
which is pretty damn
Yeah.
good.
Batting cages?
Yes.
The only thing
Mini
it's missing is like
go-karts?
like Japanese style like arcade games.
Oh, yeah.
It's all very Western. And
They
some of
had
it.
like they had a DDR case.
Yeah, and that's about
And that's it.
Yeah. But the mini golf is awesome. It's no Pixar themed one that I'll tell you
No,
that much.
hell no.
That would be amazing. I think it's like a Wall-E one. Oh, you have to tell us about it.
In space? Are you going to go to space and play mini golf in space?
Golf in space. It's a Pixar mini golf course.
State your names and occupations for the court, please, witnesses.
A writer of words so sweet, they do scent the breeze. An inventor of ideas so profound, they compose the earth. The unrivaled poet and the unmatched scribe, William Shakespeare. Were the great bard to be recalled to life anew, lo, what a magnificent man! Good fellows, I am he who ponders such a miracle, William Shakespeare.
Oh, it's Meter Man.
Oh, Materman!
A drone bee meterman.
A
Adron probably, but his name is probably a drone for like a drone being a bee. Because he's a bee.
A drone bee.
a drone bee.
Ah.
Meterman.
I don't know what meterman is though.
It's like someone who takes the measure of the meter.
I mean, as far as bees go.
Oh.
Oh.
The name's Meter Man. Adrian B. Meter Man. I work at the Altamont Gas Company, East End branch office.
Oh, I remember now. It was yesterday on Briar Road.
Oh, yes, she's right. It's him. Oh, what's this? What's that man doing over there? It looks like he's trying to see into Soseki-san's lodgings.
Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo?
Excuse me, could we have a word? Oh. Oh. Bye.
See ya.
I would love an opportunity to do a pose and then leave a room.
Ah.
You know?
Oh my god, he's living your dream right now. He's just lived your dream.
Why would you steal my dreams?
That's it. Get a new dream, Nyanny.
I guess so.
That's
Is this
it.
Mike?
Oh, very slowly dropping it.
Yeah. Does a pose, refuses to elaborate, leaves.
Yes, we spotted him outside Mr. Garadeb's house that morning. And he's a gas company employee? What does that have to do with this case?
So, Mr. William Shakespeare, you are the victim in this miserable affair, correct? Ha.
Oh heaven, oh hell, do you command me to remember that sweet poison that did cross me and cross mine innocent lips?
I subpoenaed him for the trial with his doctor's permission, naturally. Hearing the testimony of the aggrieved will remove any room for doubt from the jurors' minds, I'm sure.
Behold, you only have to rearrange the letters of my name to see that me's a seraph, an angel indeed. Thus be I noble of mind, sweet of nature, and very, verily honest of heart, as all heavenly angels be.
What letters are left? If you go seraph with his name, what's left? Chat.
I didn't see.
And reorder it. What's your guesses?
Because there isn't a less contrived meaning in your name? No, not at all.
The jurors seem to be very moved by this man, I'm afraid.
They're actually taking this serif anagram idea seriously?
Quite.
Thank you, witness, for your illuminating introductions.
But my lord, what's the man next to Mr. Shamspear doing here? The gas man, I mean.
Oh, me? Oh, well now.
Allow me to enlighten my learned friend. You recall, I presume, your earlier impertinence? Impertinence. When you suggested that the victim had another visitor to his room on the night in question. And moreover, that the victim is a compulsive liar.
What? No, I didn't quite say that.
This young chin stroker is here to controvert your wild claims conclusively. Is that not so, Mr. Meterman?
Hold on. No, I'm just here. I hereby call for your formal testimonies. You'll tell the court as lucidly as possible what happened on the night in question.
One may smile and be a villain. Yes, it doth pain me, but let the truth be spoken, the truth of that wintry night of my discontent. The way he stroked that chin don't make me feel a fool.
The wintry night of my discontent.
Content.
To reference Jester from Cretroll, Polo Bees.
Adam.
Hello.
Adam!
I don't know that reference. The only jester I know is dead.
Because it's my money, mate.
It's my money, mate.
Thanks, Adam.
The snow lay about. My neighbor did cometh into the evening, bearing a gift of tea. But merry, bitter was his drink, and when he left, I did fall prostrate on my table. 'Twas the tea alone that did pass my lips that late hour, not else.
I was outside the block's window in the freezing cold all night, keeping my eye on his room. No one else visited the room but that short little round-backed Eastern fella.
Why are you spying on
Why
me?
are you doing it? It's like so cold.
Wait. What did you just say? You were keeping an eye on Mr. Shamspear's room all night?
Oh, that's right. Of course. The block's window's all but blocked up, isn't it? But there's a little gap in the bricks where you can see through the room. So I spent the night trying to keep my teeth from chattering as I peered into that.
Why?
The question is, why?
But why?
Well, now, that's because he's on my list.
What a piece of work is a man. Therefore wouldst thou not stare in wonderment? Gaze upon me in my radiance.
One strokes his chin, the other strokes his ego.
That's why I got two arms, in it.
What are you talking about?
This buzzing busybody had not part in this play. I pray thee, pay him no heed. Make no more ado about his tedious words.
What you say about me?
That's a real B stance.
It is, yeah.
Calm yourself. His court is concerned with what happened on the night in question. Nothing more.
Indeed, that is so.
And, as the testimony we have just heard clearly reveals, there was no one other than the accused present at the time who could have carried out this crime.
Damn, he got that dump truck.
Rhubarb.
Is that how you make it look like you're talking?
I guess, yeah.
Rhubarb. Watermelon.
Well,
Papaya.
I believe this may be the final testimony of the trial. Now, counsel, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination.
Yes, my lord.
Aha. The snow lay about, my neighbor did cometh in the evening, bearing a gift of tea.
Hold it! To be clear, by neighbor, are you referring to the defendant, Mr. Natsume?
Oh, indeed, sire. Perchance thou wouldst that I call him the man from upstairs?
And at what time did the mustachioed Nipponese visit you in your room?
Our meeting was promised for the hour of 9, and lo, did he come to tender a gift of fragrant tea.
Details which are in accordance with the defendant's own testimony, yes.
And we were broiled in such a literary debate as history hath not seen before.
By which I presume he means...
Their discussion about who was stronger, Romeo or Juliet.
I, Shamspear, did play the part of young Romeo, whilst my neighbour played the fair Juliet. Each of us dressed as would our characters be, to bring weight upon our merry experiment.
I dare not imagine the scene.
Frailty, thy name is woman. Canst thou imagine how dismayed I was? Yes, I had heard of the Eastern art of jujitsu, but ne'er did I dream 'twould be a skill practiced by the comely maiden.
Juliet beat Romeo up? That is not helping our case.
I doth have a bite mark upon an area on which I shan't show.
I believe the court has heard enough about your earth-shattering literary debate. Perhaps you could reiterate your statement about the tea that the accused brought to your room.
My liege, I am thy servant. Gladly I would do thy bidding. But marry, bitter was his drink, and when he left, I did fall prostrate on my table.
Hold it! Wow. Let me stop you there. Mr. Natsume left your room at 11 o'clock, but it wasn't until after 2 that the poison made you collapse. That amounts to more than 3 hours of missing time.
Yeah, fuck. Just dancing. Just dancing.
This is my convicting dance. I kind of wish that guy was a prosecutor. If the defendant had really put the poison into your tea, that 3-hour window of time is something you're going to have to explain.
Gladly, 'tis an easy task.
What?
I did drink of the tea not while my guest didst tarry, but after he took leave of me. Faith, 'twas a stone cold, but at 1 hour post midnight, verily were my lips parched.
Objection! That doesn't sound normal.
Nay, 'tis quite ordinary, sire, after all. Thou wouldst recall our fiery debate. Amidst such argument, there'd be no time for fiery tea.
Romeo and Juliet again. And who was stronger?
Mr. Shamspear, in summary, allow me to confirm. Did you not come here with the intention of naming your attacker?
But of course, my liege. 'Twas the stupid lover of words did attempt to shuffle me off this mortal coil.
We all know what that means.
'Twas the tea alone that did pass my lips at that late hour, not else.
Hold it! So, you didn't have any kind of evening meal? Dinner, supper,
Oh my God.
second dinner?
Do you think that our good bee friend stung him with a blow dart?
Oh my god.
It would be on theme.
It would be on theme.
I'm just saying.
No evidence to substantiate that.
No.
But I think we should
off.
say it. Ha! Fie on luxury, fie on gluttony. To eat thrice daily is but a waste of time.
Sorry?
I would that my belly were full, no more oft than the sun doth rise.
Oh my god, he's riding a horse.
I think so.
He who doth rise.
Well, most heroic eating habits, I must say.
It's called intermittent fasting. It will be very popular in the 21st century.
Involuntary intermittent fasting. That's what I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
Night and day do I fill my hours with learned study of a great bard and playwright. Hence, is it that there doth not be in my chamber, be in costume of mine art.
That would appear to be the case, as even a rodent was found starved to death in your room.
Now that I think of it, it's not just food that was conspicuously missing from that room, is it? I don't recall seeing a single play or script anywhere.
For I have devoured them all.
You've eaten them?
Every word be within my skull. Didst thou imagine otherwise?
To live Shakespeare, you must consume as much Shakespeare as possible.
You must breathe, eat.
Shit, Shakespeare.
Shit spear.
Well, right. That wasn't misleading at all. Now, could you turn around, do you think?
Which brings us to the conclusion that the only way the poison could have passed the victim's lips is in the tea.
I was outside this block's window in the freezing cold all night, keeping my eye on his room.
But the windows of that house have all been filled in.
A historical artifact of a now defunct window tax.
Yep, right there, all bricked up horribly. But as it happens, there's a little part in the brickwork, and a little corner's been opened up. I was looking in through that gap.
Yes, there were a few bricks loose, weren't there?
And for some strange reason, a couple bars of soap lined up on the ledge outside as well.
I like going around poking my chin in other people's business, especially on freezing cold nights. But them's my orders, so it's what I keep doing. As long as there's breath in my body.
Oh, yeah. His handkerchief looks like two little wings,
Oh, cute.
which are too small for a bee to fly with, of course.
But they do despite that. What's with all the theatricals today?
Out of interest, Mr. Meterman, after the accused had left and returned to his own lodgings, did you see the victim leave the room at all?
No, he never left. He was in our room the whole time, as far as I'm concerned.
And we can therefore discount the possibility of suicide.
How can you be sure of that?
The police carried out a thorough investigation of the scene and found no receptacle for poison.
Sorry.
And since we know the victim didn't leave his room, and hence didn't dispose of the poison's container himself, it's very clear that there was no attempted suicide. Only the culprit could have removed the receptacle.
Oh, yes. Lucidly explained, counsel. Thank you.
It really was. You can't argue with the logic.
No one else visited his room, that short little round-backed Eastern fella.
You say a short little round-backed Eastern fella, so you can't be sure it was the defendant then.
Objection!
Not gonna let that one fly, no? No?
How many other short little round-backed Nipponese with a mustache do you think there are in London?
4.
Oh, well, of course, it's only a narrow gap, and it's quite dark, so I didn't notice the mustache. But it showed up around 9, so I'm pretty sure of myself.
And when the person you saw arrived, did he and Mr. Shakespeare drink tea together?
No, sorry. Couldn't say.
Why not?
Because I couldn't see the room all that well, could I? But what I did see was the silhouette of that little round-backed fellow wearing a pretty dress. Then the pair of them started some kind of wrestling match, and I tell you, I didn't know what to make of it.
I suppose that was the Romeo and Juliet championship battle getting underway.
In this corner!
standing at 5'2", broad as a board, Juliet! Capulet at heart and Capulet this... I did a bit barb.
Oh, but Mr. Meter Man, allow me to confirm one final time. Apart from the accused, can you state with certainty that no one else visited the victim on the night in question?
No question, Gasman's honor.
The question, though, if you're...
Oh, hold it!
All right.
Natsume.
Ah!
Oh!
My lord! Oh, goodness me, yes, Mr. Foreman. I've kept my mouth shut and I've listened up till now, but this has gone on long enough.
I was going to say, they haven't talked much.
Are you all with me?
Yes!
Yeah.
Are we to understand that you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are in agreement with one another? That you've reached a unanimous decision?
Do right we have. Are you all with me?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, the defense is in the middle of a cross-examination.
To be honest, I was holding out a bit of hope for you, young man. Especially after you identified those few hours that followed the accused leaving the victim's room.
Yes, the 3 missing hours as you put it.
But in the end, what difference do they make? None as far as I can see.
And since that's now apparent, there's really no reason to delay our decision any longer.
Like I was saying before, if it don't take 5 bob home with me tonight, the missus would blow her top.
What's that? Sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said.
Well, let the court be apprised of your decisions. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings to the defendant's culpability. Guilty!
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Pew, 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 pew.
Sexa kill.
Hey, I said that.
Yeah, I know.
Sexy kill. Sexy kill.
Although maybe it would be Hexy kill.
Yeah.
All of you?
Well, it would appear that the jury is indeed unanimous.
Yes. So, this time at least, it seems justice will be done. All's well that ends well, as they say. This calls for a toast, I feel. To the guilty being punished.
Get up, Mr. Naruhodo, please!
No.
The trial isn't over yet.
No! What do you mean, Mr. Sato?
What about the information I found in this Encyclopedia of British Law that I have? That obscure right that belongs to the defense in these situations. Remember?
Do you remember?
A summation examination. Yes, that's right. We don't have a jury in Japanese courts, of course, but here in the British Court of Law, if we can reverse the decisions of the majority of the jurors, we can force the trial to continue. This trial can't end now. Whatever it takes, I just can't let that happen. The defense moves to invoke its right to a summation examination, my lord.
Why am I not surprised at my learned Nipponese friend's inability to admit defeat?
Because I keep winning.
All I do is win, win, win,
No matter
win,
what.
win.
Summation examination, I put it in your butt.
Oh, shit!
You choose to cling desperately to some archaic rule you barely comprehend instead of accepting the truth.
Certainly no other defense counsel in recent times has exercised the right to a summation examination, except you, at one time.
Because they all know that once the jury's mind is set, it cannot be altered except for when it is.
Right? Are you sure that you know what you're doing here? We kicked your ass like a lot of times. Okay, though, it's fine.
Nevertheless, the right remains and must be upheld.
And honest, maybe.
The defense counsel's request is granted. This court will proceed with a summation examination as outlined in the Encyclopedia of British Law.
Thank you, my lord.
Peria.
Are you and your fellows prepared, Mr. Foreman? Believe me, my lord, we know all about this young lad's tenacity. And we're ready for it.
This is the worst jury to have. It's like, I'm not going to be convinced by logic or reason.
Not again. Not by him.
Hello, Claudia.
Hello, mother.
Very well. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby call upon each of you to state the grounds on which the defendant's guilty of the crime, which you find the defendant guilty of the crime for which he stands accused. Words.
Words.
Gavel, 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 gavel.
Gavel, 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 gavel. He. I'm a little gavel. The victim may not be well off, but he's a noble man and straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man.
Well, I do declare the good gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid.
Just look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, stoops all the while, and he has a mustache. Very fishy.
There's no evidence to suggest the gangling actor is a fraudsman. For now, at least.
His name is literally Shamspear.
I don't really like. I just need this trial to end quickly.
3 hours. Fuck.
If you want.
Yeah, go for it.
I fucking lost it.
3 hours of mission time is nothing when you reach my age, you know? Nothing at all.
It's true.
It's like I'm wearing nothing at all.
Because time is so weird. The older you get, like, time just feels like it's going faster because you've experienced more time.
Absolutely. You put a toddler in timeout, that's 50 minutes to you. That's like a year to them.
Oh
Well,
my
like,
God.
honestly, if they're 3 years old, 15 minutes is such a large chunk of their life.
I know.
Crazy.
Yeah. Like if it was really easy, like 3 years old and 30, then 15 minutes, 50 minutes for them would be like 150 minutes for them.
That's a whole movie.
Which that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it. Every single one of them seems completely convinced.
It would seem that all the jurors have come to the conclusion that Mr. Shamspear is a fine, upstanding, and honest citizen.
If you ask me, they've all been bewitched by his strange theatrical movements.
And sadly, nothing Mr. Natsume has said appears to have registered at all.
Well, here goes. Let's not forget. I've pleaded with the jury on Soseki-san's behalf before and it worked, so you never know.
Before we begin, it might be an idea for me to remind you that exactly how a summation examination works, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh,
Well, you're still very new to British law, after all.
so are you. That's true, I suppose.
But did you read the encyclopedia?
No,
That's what I thought.
I tried.
But what happened?
I got seasick on the boat.
You got seasick on the boat, that's right.
Yeah.
And then who had to read the whole thing to you?
You did.
I
Through my
did.
vomit.
Through your vomit.
Yeah. That's true, I suppose. And Soseki-san's fate is entirely in my hands now. There's always a chance I might have forgotten some crucial detail. Perhaps I should hear Susato-san out. I wonder, should I let her talk me through it again or not bother? No, please. No need. Thank you for the kind offer, Miss Susato. But I've been through plenty of these summation examinations already now. And I think it's important that we don't delay the start any longer than necessary.
Of course, I understand, and I'm sure you're quite right. If you're confused by anything at any point, you can turn to me for advice whenever you'd like. I'll be here for you.
The key to this is really listening carefully to each juror's statement. Finding two that are contradictory and pitting the corresponding jurors against each other.
Without further ado, please, counsel, proceed with the summation examination.
Yes, my lord. Wow. Fucking guy in the back there.
Hitherto whence for out, for aught.
The victim may not have been well off, but he's a noble man and straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man.
Well, there are plenty of people in London who seem to be noble but poor. Couldn't some of them also be liars?
I've no doubt about it. Like that shaky client of yours, for example.
Ooh, ouch.
Absolutely not. Mr. Natsume is no liar.
Look, the point is, the only thing that passed the victim's lips that night was the Japanese man's tea. And when you take the gas man's testimony into account as well, the truth couldn't be any clearer.
Oh my god. Do you think they kissed and he had weird feelings about it and he was like, I have to drug myself to forget this?
Maybe. Maybe washed his mouth out with soap.
Oh, maybe.
They were
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's what it is. They got a little too gay and he's had regrets.
There it is.
Oh my god.
Just starts questioning everything.
Yeah.
That's alarmingly logical.
But let me be frank here. I'm a gentleman with a gentleman's values. If it turns out that the old Shakespearean chum is a rotten liar after all, I'll gladly change my decision about the defendant. And I'm sure my fellow gentlemen on the jury would do the same. Isn't that right?
Well, yes, perhaps, though I don't see it happening.
What's that? Elderly gent on the end here, you know. I have to speak up.
Look, I don't really care about all this nonsense. I just need this trial to be over.
How many gentlemen do we actually have on the jury, then? All right, sir. I may hold you to that. Don't forget what you said.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
it's okay.
Are you saying that you believe the man to be trustworthy because he's rather splendid?
No, that's not what I said. The point is, the man is the victim here. What reason would he have to lie? And yes, he is rather splendid. Woo!
So you say, yet again.
Meanwhile, the man who stands accused behaves so suspiciously. It's exhausting to look at him. I'm afraid he's not splendid at all.
You're not splendid, fam.
Yo.
Splendid logic there, madam. Thank you so much.
I never felt more betrayed than I did at Juror 3 at this moment. I was rooting for you, we were all rooting for you, how dare you?
How dare you?
Rooting for you.
Cupcake aside.
I know, real bad. I'm not liking it.
Oh, just look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, stoops all the while, and has a mustache. Very fishy.
You're just jealous because you can't grow one. I know, because I also have similar feelings.
No. Not one of those things is a reason to find the man guilty.
Oh, that's what you say. But he is fishy. There's no point in dancing around the fact he's Japanese, he has a mustache, and he stoops. You see, you arrive at the conclusion in just 3 steps, just like it, like a waltz, in fact. You know, the more I think about it, the more this trial seems like a dance.
That's pretty.
You seem to be several steps ahead of yourself, though, and you're on the wrong foot.
Negative 10 out of 10, agreed.
No, there's nothing but circumstantial evidence here. There's no actual proof of the defendant's guilt.
Oh, but the victim's version of events is backed up by what the big-chinned man next to him is saying, ain't it? 1, he saw the Japanese man there. 2, he saw no one else. 3, he saw the Japanese man there. Oh. Huh. That's another 3 steps. All this really does seem more like a waltz, doesn't it?
Right. And the prosecution will waltz its way to victory if I let you speak much more.
There's no evidence to suggest the gangling actor is a fraudsman, for now at least.
A fraudsman? What do you mean by that, madam?
It really is a most tiresome problem for the company. Most irritating. We can be absolutely certain that a customer is stealing from us, but without hard evidence. We can't even threaten to take action for fear of being sued.
I'm sorry, you've lost me a little there. Who are you?
I'm the wife of Augustus Altamont, the owner of Altamont Gas Company.
I wonder if this is going to be relevant later.
I thought she had bee colors, like some sort of queen bee.
Oh.
Oh, goodness gracious. Altamont gas, you say?
Gas is the future of energy in this country and around the globe, but proper handling is essential. As I'm sure our employee from the Far East and branch office would be the first to agree.
Lady Quimby, oh my god.
Wow.
Absolutely, Lady Quimby. Gotta be used properly. Altamont gas is the best in the world, I suppose.
Wow. Yep.
I think we may have solved the mystery of how the bow from earlier, Mr. Naruhodo.
Right, he bowed in deference to his employer's wife. Did he? Did he? Oh, so, would I be right in assuming that the reason Mr. Meterman was watching what Mr. Shamspear was up to in his room?
I'm afraid that there is no end to the lengths the population of the East End will go in order to steal our gas. So I really have no choice when the company identifies someone as a possible fraudsman. But to dispatch a worker to watch the suspect day and night. We're very thorough in our investigations.
So you mean Mr. Shamspear is...
I wouldn't come out and say it in public, but you can finish that sentence with a grubby little gas thief.
Ooh! Oh! Damn! Ah! Ooh! Sting.
All right. I'm just saying that umbrella could have been the blowgun.
Oh, yeah. Could have been.
I saw it happen in a documentary once.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with Michael Keaton and Danny DeVito.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What was the name of that documentary?
Batman Cometh.
Ah, yes, of course. Yes. You have noticed the public gallery in here, have you?
The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. Faith, wouldst thou wound me with thy words, were I to let them penetrate the skin? But seraphs hear not insults, only choirs of angels in song. We may not have evidence yet, but my workers won't stop buzzing around you until they find it. And when they do, you'll find yourself blasted back to your angelic heights in the Altamont gas explosion.
Yo, that's messed up.
Yeah, that's not legal.
So Mr. Shamspear has been stealing gas. I wonder, juror number 4, if you wouldn't mind adding that information to your statement.
My pleasure. Was it the bit about ripping that thief apart you enjoyed?
In an explosion? Yes, that's the one I enjoyed, but I need the other one. A little before that part about abject violence, if it's not too much trouble.
Yes, of course.
I think this is going to contradict, like, oh, he can't be a liar. He's a grubby little gas thief.
Yeah, basically. This could be it. This could shift the balance. But we
The
definitely have...
victim puts on a fine performance, but in reality, he's a common thief of my company's gas.
Gas.
That's a bold claim. How could you be so sure?
It's really very simple. Noble lady of gas, I pray thee, hold thy tongue. I beg your pardon? Hath that rank-odored air that doth our darkness illuminate any place in this assembly? Nay! 'Tis a sole import here that someone would extinguish the light of mine own life. Ugh. Verily, I ne'er recall stealing thy gas, but pray let the matter rest till anon. Why, you little...
Begging your pardon, my lady, but might I suggest that you don't say any more at this stage? We need hard evidence first. If I keep secretly watching this bloke, I'll get him in the end. He'll slip up.
It's not a secret if you told everyone.
You think maybe that the secret's out of the bag?
Oh, this is so frustrating.
I want to murder.
I really don't care. Like, I just need this trial to end quickly.
Let's hear about your abusive wife.
Oh, gosh. Jeez.
You keep talking about needing to take home some money. What's that all about, sir?
Finish, lass. That's what it's about.
What's that?
I'm talking about the Derby at Hyde Park, aren't I? It was the Queen's Cup last week, wasn't it?
A derby?
It was a dead cert. That's the thing. I couldn't lose. So I took my wife's secret savings. But then the hopeless old mare just went and did the unthinkable. Oh, the stupid finish last.
Why would you name a horse finish last?
Ha ha.
That's just bad karma.
Yeah.
Oh,
last.
dear.
That's fine.
I think it's clear what happened, isn't it?
Finish last.
Oh, this is the day that Mrs. uses her savings for a trip down the pub. So come on with this business lie now. Just give it up.
No, that's not going to happen.
How's this? I want the trial to go on for years, decades even, please.
Hold it! What do you really mean by that, sir?
Well, I'm not one to boast, but I get up at 5 every morning, I do.
At 5? You really are an early riser then, aren't you?
Eh? What's that now?
I said you're really an early riser!
Oh, well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, it's more like I like to while away in the hours of the evening reading books as well. But by about 2 in the morning, I'm usually too tired to go on.
What? He sleeps at 2 in the morning and gets up at 5? Oh my, that means he only has 3 hours of sleep each night.
Party animal.
What's that, dear?
Only 3 hours of sleep each night!
That's right, you see. 3 hours of mission time, like I said. It's not that much, is it?
This really isn't helping.
The key to summation examinations is identifying contradictions between juror statements, Mr. Naruhodo.
Right. And once I found 2 jurors whose statements can't coexist, I need to pit those jurors against each other. And then hopefully, when they see that what they're saying doesn't make sense, they'll change their leaning.
Yes, and if you're able to change the minds of the majority of the jurors, the trial will continue. But conversely, if you're unable to do that, the judge will declare the trial over and move on to the adjudication.
And I can't let that happen. Somehow or another, I have to turn this trial around.
Turn the trial around.
Sunday, that is.
On Sunday? Jeez.
I'm glad that they only gave us like 2 things that contradict each other, and the rest are like, burper derper.
Yeah.
I bet on horses.
Yeah.
I like cheese.
I go to sleep at 2 a.m.
Yeah. They're really easing you into it. It's really funny, like how they accommodate new players, but also kind of expect you to have played the first game. Like
Explaining summation examination.
Yeah. I guess it's the whole thing where it's like, no matter what we do, we can't start everyone from starting at 1 to start at 1 or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
We have to assume that some people are going to do 2 only, despite everything.
Yeah. And that's why every single NyanCave stream is top notch, because people come in the middle,
Oh, yeah.
then they go back to the beginning, you see.
Bam. But thank you so much for being here, though. Tomorrow, we're actually going to be playing Deltarune Chapter 1 for a second time.
Few things to put up on the board.
There's one more thing to play, though.
I see. Okay.
One more thing.
Mustache.
Cyber!
More like SU stash. Juror 3 probably.
Hey. It's true. Thanks, Cyber.
Cyber Saiyan! Okay.
Cyber!
Yeah, you can have the things.
I can have the things. All right, let's see. I'm going to try to focus this.
But yeah, and then we're going to play Deltarune Chapter 2 on Saturday.
Yeah, baby. Deltarune Part 1, Deltarune Part 2, because I have Forgetful.
Yeah, I remember a little bit.
I remember a little bit, too.
And I remember having a really good time. No, there won't be any Bizzaria tomorrow. It's, yeah, sometimes things just happen.
Yeah, sometimes Toby Fox just goes on a live stream and announces that he's going to be releasing Chapter 2 of Deltarune randomly.
Yeah. Will Tom be there? I don't think so, no.
No, I won't be able to make it.
Yeah. Well, Deltarune Chapter 2 on Friday is coming out, but we're going to be playing Chapter 1 before it comes out.
Yep.
So you can get all re-caught up with us if you like. It's going to be a good time.
Ooh. Bees.
Yeah.
Beep, beep, beep,
Yeah,
beep,
so it's-
beep, 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 beep.
So.
Oh, I have nothing against Toby Fox doing what he did. It's hype news. I'm glad he at least gave us like 24, 48 hours for it.
Yeah.
Better than Nintendo.
Yeah, better than it's already here, and it's fine. Like, it's.
You know, do what you will.
That's
Do what you want because Toby is free.
their
You
thing.
are a Toby. Yar har
we're
fiddle
all
dee dee.
just pawns living in Toby's world. But yeah.
I am a material Toby.
Oh yeah, no, it's nice. Toby Fox is a match for Sakurai. Yeah. No, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So we got a fun weekend ahead of us. Yeah. And Imposter Factory at the end of this month, which we're hoping to pick up sometime.
Sometime?
Then. Sometime.
Sometime, maybe with some Tom.
Ooh.
We'll have to see how that works.
Sometime, some Tom. Same Tom, same time.
Oh, thank you for being here, though. We got some Yakuza coming up right after this, so
Hell
hope
yeah.
to see you there.
Hell yeah,
See
baby.
you all.
Bam. Later.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. I love you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.